You know, it's amazing how some nights you'll sleep all the way through, and other nights you're awakened. I was awakened at 2 in the morning, and that's why I'm doing this video now, just after 3 in the morning. Not my favorite time of the day. I don't like the darkest part of the night. I never have, but I especially don't like it now because the demons are in a frenzy. They're 10 times more active. But so I'm doing this video. What is this video about? It's what I believe I've been shown as to why things are dragging out so long and why, fortunately for all of us, really nothing major has happened. Because if you're being honest and if you're seeing the reality of the situation, you don't want an EMP. You don't want nuclear war. You want people to awaken. See, that's the thing. We want people to wake up, but at what cost? You see, so you have to always keep that in mind because an EMP in January. Oh my goodness, the casualties and the difficulties for all of us. No, you really have to think these things through because even when I had a power outage for 5 days in good weather, that was nothing. But this would be horrendous. So think about it. So there's that aspect. Okay, the Father knows that we're not ready. I'm telling you, He knows we're not ready for these major things, and so we better be grateful. I am. I am because people just I guess they're not thinking in terms of seeing it almost as a movie. It's not. But when it's really happening, it's going to be tough for all of us. And then there's the other thing. He's testing us, but he's specifically testing our faithfulness and our trust. Because a lot of people were hoping to be taken out of here by a rapture. You know it's true. And I'm afraid I never did have that illusion. I never did. But they've been hoping for that, and it hasn't come about. And I don't think it will yet. And I don't think it'll happen until the very end, when the fire does come down. But also, he wants to see how much we trust him. I mean, go back and read Job. Job was pushed like this, and boom, and he was the most just man on the planet. He was the most honorable, and he was put through it. He was put through it. So I use that as a reference. I really do. I think that that is what we're going to be pushed to the very limits. And out of it will come mighty saints, warrior saints. But we have to trust. See, that's what I'm learning. I have to trust in His timing and His plan. I'm not so sure it's even about, whether or not these people are going to come back or not, whether or not they're going to be converted. So many people have said to me, well, if one soul, and it's true. One soul has infinite value. And, we have to think in His terms, not ours. Because it gets old, like I've said, this whole business. I will add that in my video where I said, I'm going to stop warning. I am stopping warning to those people who aren't hearing. Now, if someone comes across my path that might be willing to listen and I can plant a seed, that's a whole different ballgame. But I'm not going to keep warning to someone who's yelling at me saying Armageddon, Armageddon, just laughing at me. But really, bottom line is, it was shown to me in my spirit that this is why these things are happening. Time, because we're not ready. All of us are not ready. You may think you're ready because you've got some few preps, but when it really goes down, are you ready? Are you really ready for an invasion from foreign forces? Are you really ready for an EMP that could last more than a year or 6 months, whatever? No. I'm not. I don't even pretend to be. But there's that, and then there's the second thing, um, testing us to see if we will stay true, or if we'll get bitter and angry at Him, seriously, or if we'll be faithful and constant and trusting, and especially living in the here and now. He's bringing us into His time in the eternal now, because that's the only real time. See, all the way the days are racing by, that's just a nonsense. That's not real. That's not real time. So He wants us focused in the here and now, and living in Him, trusting in Him, especially being faithful to Him, and not bickering, because sometimes I'll get antsy. I've admitted it. Um, and believing in His promises that in the end they will be fulfilled. So it really is not even one day at a time for me, but it's at least it's one day at a time for everyone else. And to me, it's almost like 1 hour at a time. But that's the only way to cope. I I have to make some plans because I see things are changing in my little world very quickly. But I do that by writing it down, what has to be done, what I have to prepare for, like a checklist, and not being anxious about it. Just doing one thing at a time. Check it off. Go to the next thing. Give it to Him. Check it off. Go to the next thing. Lists are very helpful, really. They are. And it's another way to stay focused. But that's what He's doing. He's testing our faithfulness and our trust. Do we trust Him to get us through this? Or are we going to do our own thing and get all fearful and anxious and even turn from Him? Trust, obey.